And it's going to be hard for them to get to light in a lot of scenarios unless you have that Akali. So expect to see Saber constantly trying to be that flanker for a comp that's going to try and play, like you mentioned, Cubby, so much slower in these fights. Top of the score bug here with the ever-present one being First Blood, and we might just see it as both junglers make their way to the lane. Xiaohu under threat, going to have to flash over the shuriken from Saber. But here's the response from Tian, going for Wanzhong, who is way too far up with his wave pushed in. Going to wait out the flash. The Vault Breaker going to land. Nice. Great patience for the Weibo Gaming jungler, and one flash secures First Blood. And the first feat of strength here for Waybo, but the bottom lane's getting handsy as well as Hong full flashes in, does not stun up Wako, and now the Ash slows are really starting to stack. Hong should fall to lethal tempo, and the Braum stun is going to force Light to cleanse out himself. We'll be able to get back towards that turret, but will he find the trade? The piercing arrow falls just short. And Junhao should have no trouble with his bot lane shoving in that topside wave, grabbing the 3 grubs.
I think this is A-okay here for each of our teams. Of course, for Tian, Vi uniquely with the Dancing Blows passive gets through Dragon quite quickly. So I think it just makes sense based on where the prio is for each of our squads. And so far, we'll see if Ultra Prime can do anything with these first set of grubs. Grubs still very determinative of how you can push in the meta in the mid game. And I think that with the first 3, all 3 going over to Ultra Prime, eyes on Waybo to see how they can test that second spawn of grubs. It really isn't a question of if you get the first 3, it is how. As you are forced to respond because 5-6 grubs, again, at this level, we've seen teams do way too much with that. Whoa. Saber's going to follow up on Xiaohu. He's down flash.
Mid. Oh, cease and desist going to follow the flash there from Saber. The Cyclone gets the knockup, but Xiaohu cannot follow his jungler. So despite the flash not getting him away from Tian, it actually sets up a trap and gets another kill for Ultra Prime. Starting to get some gold lead building up here for Ultra Prime.
Do you want to credit Junhao a little bit on that? As we're going to see an answer here from Xiaohu. Saber.
Xiaohu, one of the LPL legends, right on time. Should have find this kill onto Saber. Should with a couple more stacks of that passive. Why not take it safe and get it done with the auto attacks? There's Xiaohu on the board is the Weibo Gaming bottom lane next to Tian. Level that bottom lane advantage for Ultra Prime. With a snap of a fingers, Weibo are back in control.
Keep him in the lane, actually, with Wanzhong taking 2 tower shots, but a lot of time being spent topside. That will be 1 grub secured, and we have to engage.
I'm going to go in, only going to snap the Braum. We have a TP coming in the background. Roosevelt able to get back towards his AD carry. Now Hong is just caught in the middle, and Junhao is going to execute him with the Cyclone. In with the CSS goes Tian. The turn with Xiaohu here. Tons of damage dropped through, but the Akali drops into the Shroud. You try perfect execute, gets the Braum stun onto Tian. Down he goes, and now Xiaohu's got no help until Breathe flies in with the public execution. Gets one of his own. Wanzhong able to trade out the AD carry as the split fight manifests itself, but Saber is too far away from his solo lane ally.
To win. It was really Breathe and Xiaohu to the rescue with these TPs that helped make sure they were able to get a slight advantage for themselves to go back to live and the fights continue.
Ooh, Ash Arrow down on Tian. Gets knocked up by the Braum. The power of the Freljordi and ultimates holding the Weibo jungler at bay as the Vault Breaker himself out to safety.
Kind of just curious they didn't try and deny these grubs at all, because that would have been really big for setting the timer back.
Wanzhong. Trap set, ultimates committed, all ultimates, and Wanzhong gets popped, unlike Casante's.
That is, I guess, Ambessa with Eclipse can put down some good damage, and we did tease before this game started that Ambessa really has potential to rip through the composition for Ultra Prime. Again, not a lot of great CC to help deal with Ambessa throughout these fights. Can walk it out with Ashe, but that's tough with all the mobility that Ambessa has and all the pressure that the rest of Weibo's composition is going to put down onto a champion like Ashe. So Xiaohu's already roamed up, so that's big for Weibo. Here we go.
Tian does go in. They get the season assist down, and they have Wako marked. No Glacial Fissure will save that Ashe as Wako drops off. Wanzhong going to teleport in. Response coming as well here from Breathe. But Tian is holding his own. In flies Saber with the perfect execution. Does get Tian down, drops into the Shroud, gets himself a second kill on the recast as well. Wanzhong on the all-out form trying to really dole out the damage, but Breathe is just way too powerful. Who's got more dashes in tote? It's Breathe and the Ambessa as Waybo are able to turn the end of the fight and give themselves a 4-3 lead.
It's Saber versus Breathe, but with everything being burned early in this fight, Breathe gets pretty much nothing when he enters to contest him. As I thought Saber was going to make it close with that close fight on the Xiaohu, but we have to get out of that replay because Rift Herald is being taken. Weibo don't have their R's back up yet, but they do secure the Rift.
Tian flies in, hits the back of the eye, smite for more than enough damage.
On top of the their second dragon, as we do have a Hex Tech Rift for this game.
Which is one of the more coveted ones, as Shelly's going to get her crack at the mid lane turret. Waybo are just gobbling up everything they can on the map right now that's important. Tier 1 mid lane turret down, feats of strength soon to follow, and the dragon stacking, spicing a little bit of a 2k gold lead in.
Really think about pulling the trigger. Again, at this level, 1 or 2 cooldowns being missing, or just a chunk, the likes of which Saber just felt from Xiaohu. That could be enough legitimately to start this, and even if you pull off of it, like, you're at least going to get a TP out of Saber, who has to reset before he takes the fight like this. At the moment, Waybo thinking a little bit more about this bot side control, as they're going to take down their last outer turret. And again, if Ultra Prime start this, fighting for the majority of the games we've seen early season, whoever secures that does win the game. I believe, again, in solo queue, it's like 81, 82% win rate if you get Otacon. But that's a scenario where you can still use the objective to threaten people. It's just the fact they take that outer, they felt like they had enough time to respond if Ultra Prime were to start it, and then you have to deal with all the damage that that objective does if you don't set it up well. I like that read a lot from Waybo.
Ooh, Xiaohu looking for a deadly flank. One's Zhang going to find it out, but maybe a bit too late. Xiaohu going in with the invis, drops between world, gets a ton of damage down onto those carries, but Tian cannot finish the kill. Wako lips himself away, and now Xiaohu's going to have to flash himself out of that beautiful flank.
Any small win they can get at this point to try and get themselves back in this game, especially with how far down and out their mid laner is in Saber.
We're in a rare situation for League of Legends here. Oh, we were so close to it, actually. Dragon falls early.
Pretty good about the game, especially with Hexol being on Soul Point. I'm kind of wondering if that's their approach for this one. I'm kind of surprised Ultra Prime hasn't started yet.
Tian, hope those Krugs were worth it. My word, do Junhao and Saber make sure Tian does not get away with it, so he'll drop off, and let's see if looking for that big row crash down we've seen. Hits and misses from him so far as he steps up. Gets the glimpse of first round of Rosie Love early. So maybe that'll give Waybo enough confidence to go for the play. Breathe going to not land the public execution, and now he's got 5 members of Ultra Prime on top of him, and he'll get picked off on the flank. Should be enough for Ultra Prime to just reset and take another crack at Otacon, who does go back up to full HP.
I really like that from Hong. He got Bramalt out for free. Braum was looking for any animation to cancel. Hong just autoed, so he got the R, but Breathe not in position. Gets taken down after the R whiffs, and now Otacon's at a real threat. The biggest threat for Ultra Prime's off the map.
Oh, Junhao still has Cyclone. He immediately commits to it on Light. The arrow comes through just on time after the cleanse. Light is down. Tian going in to lock through Wako, and both AD carries are going to drop. So who's going to step up in the fight now? Tons of low health bars on Ultra Prime's side, but Xiaohu cannot get in to finish them off, and it's a big-time multi-kill for Saber. Otacon, still below 2,000 HP, will be secured by Junhao. Knocked back on the Tofo strikes from Zhang, and he's going to make another 1v1 win with Xiaohu, this time from the top lane to in front of the Baron. What a play. Ultra Prime grab control of game 1.
Use it, and everything's come collapsing down here for Waybo in the last couple of minutes as Breathe going to get frisky.
Remember, he cannot earn a lot of gold out of this if he finds these kills. Getting the dashes up, tons of damage. Saber's still up. The GA's available for all of these Ultra Prime members.
The soul spawns here in 5 seconds, and Waybo, they're looking for it.
A lot of big summoners down. Some ults still coming back up online here. Gotta use them if you are Weibo Gaming, but this is just gone. Glacial Fissure is late. The smite comes through. Junhao does not get in. Arrow's gonna land on to Breathe, who does have the Hextech Soul now, and just like the start of last fight, is going to sacrifice himself to the might of Ultra Prime, who will likely maybe use this a turn right towards Baron.
Oh, like there's a lot of lack of range on each side. It can be really valuable for just being able to space things at this level. That said, Baron's though, and it looks like Waybo are just fishing around for the steal because they do not want to mess with this buff, so it will be a free Baron going over Ultra Prime.
They do cash in as the revive will drop off pretty soon here, but good work from the damage dealers of Waybo to get some turrets on the back end. They actually cash in a ton of gold here. Coming knock down mid tier 2 and bot tier 2.
Okay, well, yeah, it's, I mean, you get a lot of stats from it. And buffing up the cannon minions, especially when you have Baron going on, too bad.
Whoa. Ton of damage down coming out from Xiaohu. Onto the clone, though. Junhao going to escape back between worlds. Will not lock on the Ultra Prime up. Hog goes in, gets a huge stun to set up Xiaohu's damage. That is the poetry you expect from the Weibo Gaming support. Steps in, gets the game-defining fight win for Weibo 3-0. Now they're going to barrel down towards the Ultra Prime base here as Hong is looking for more. Demolish stacks, minion wave brought up. Down goes the inhibitor turret. Wonjong and Junhao, there's just nothing they can do. They don't have the damage behind them to even stop Weibo.
Their only choice now is to fight through bot and try and get these supers in to actually pincer around Weibo, who have already taken full control and even feeling frisky enough to start hitting this dragon a little bit as Breathe.
Breathe and Wonjong in their own 1v1, but the engage is found with the snap of a fingers, and Junhao is exploded. Into the backline goes Saber. He takes a huge trunk, trying to get rid of Light. Will get it with the Storm Surge, but Breathe is unleashed on the front side. Dashes galore, damage galore. There is nothing that Wako and company can go as he drops into the GA, but is only get protected from the gray screen for mere seconds. Waybo, rocky in the early game, couple of fights that didn't look too good, but when push comes to shove, when it's time for the big bad fights, it's Waybo and Xiaohu to step up, ace, and game 1 win inbound.
Or broke this game for Weibo. A couple fights where Breathe wasn't functional, where the fights where Weibo struggled when Breathe was, and Bessa, too good of a pick and too well played by Breathe to be toppled in this game.
Leads his team in kills, leads his team in fewest deaths.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.